Hello, welcome to my long anticipated UMP-45 guide and review. So today I'm going to talk about a lot of things, and I must apologize at first because, as you can probably tell, I've got some really bad sort of disease at the moment, and I'm really, really dying, and my throat hurts quite a lot, so I might sound a little bit different. Um, but nonetheless, I'm gonna soldier on, do this like a boss. The UMP-45 is an amazing gun, and through a lot of trial and error and testing, I found that this is probably the best way to set it up with the Cobra laser sight suppressor. Which is a bit weird, really, at first, because I was thinking flash suppressor is, the obvious choice, but really, it's not. I tried it countless times with the flash suppressor, and for some reason or another, unbeknown to me, I just got a lot more kills with the suppressor. But I mean, that's definitely something that you need to try, because, as ever, there's always attachments that work for some people and attachments that absolutely don't. For example, foregrips on the LMGs really works for me, but for some of my friends, they absolutely hate it. They always either have, or they always have bipod, whatever happens. And so yeah, okay, the UMP. Now, the UMP is an SMG. Oh no, not an SMG, a PDW. Sorry. So in the same class as the P90, this is a bit awkward. I can't remember any of the other guns in the in the SMG, on the PDW class. Sorry. Okay, but just consider the PDW as a counterpart to this gun. Actually, yeah, PDW. I've said it. God, sorry guys, I'm really tripping out at the moment. But anyway, so this is in the same class as the PDW, P90, those sort of guns, the guns that you can use on any class. And that's its first kind of major attribute, is that you can use it on any class, which in itself is very helpful. And so yeah, it's got a standard clip size of 30, 31 when you have one in the barrel already. It doesn't come with extended mags like the PDW or MP7, so that's quite helpful starting off. And the one thing that must be noted about the UMP-45, and the reason it's different, if you will, and why it actually can absolutely destroy teams on things like TDM, Noshar, is because it is the most powerful kind of automatic gun in the game. So when I say automatic, obviously I mean no snipers, no semi-automatic snipers. I mean fully automatic guns. It is the fastest, or it is the most damaging gun in the game, and I think the damage is 34, and I think that is the highest damage of an automatic gun in the game, and you need to use that to your advantage. So, I mean, if you compare that to probably a very mainstream gun like the AEK shoots at 900 rounds per minute. The UMP shoots at 600 rounds per minute. So on paper, it doesn't look that good, but you've got to take into account that the UMP does 34 damage, whereas the AEK does 25 damage. Furthermore, you need to also take into account distance or damage at range, because this gun is horrendous at range. Anything above maybe 15 meters, 20 meters, you don't even want to try. You just want to turn away and run away and get them to come closer to you within a sort of 15-meter range. Because you can see here, I tried to take shots at that guy. I mean, my aim's not even that bad, but I just couldn't even come close to killing him. So to put this in perspective again, I'm going to use the M16 and AEK because that is some of the most widely used guns in the game, and good reason, and for good reason too. And the reason, when compared to the M16 and AEK, the damage over distance drops from, on the M16 it drops from 25 to 18.4, sorry, at 50 meters, whereas the UMP drops from 34 to 12.5 at 40 meters. So you can see that it not only do you lose more damage over distance, but the resultant lowest damage is very, very low. And furthermore, if you put a suppressor on the UMP, that, I don't know what the stats are for it, but it kills the range even more. So you've got to bear that in mind. So you must be thinking, what the hell is he going on about? I mean, how is this gun good? On paper, he's pretty much sold the AEK or M16. No, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to sell the UMP. And the UMP is an absolutely beast gun in close quarters. It is unstoppable. The reason for this is because of the 34 damage that it gets. And even at 600 rounds per minute, you can absolutely obliterate people who have AKs, M16s, purely because you have more damage than them per bullet. And furthermore, this is emphasized by the fact that you have a tiny reticule. I mean, look at that with the laser sight. When you're not running, it is absolutely tiny. Even when you are running, it is tighter than quite a lot of guns. So it allows you to be very lazy with the gun, which I feel is actually quite a big benefit for people that may not necessarily have the best aim in the world. Being able to hip fire is quite liberating, really. You don't need to really be very accurate and very into where you're shooting. And also, actually, there are benefits with hip fire and being able to see more of the screen, because as you can see, when I zoom in, less of the screen is kind of able to view. So really what you want to be doing is playing a TDM sort of map, something that's very close and up and personal. I did play Rush, Conquest, all these sort of games, and I really found that the UMP didn't perform over the likes of the AEK or the M16. Now, as you saw earlier, the range on this gun is pants. So on Noshar TDM, which is where I definitely recommend it the most, do not try and shoot people across the map like that, because it's never going to work. If you want to do that, use a sniper or an M16 or something that's designed to be shot at medium range. And as you're about to see, even at 20 meters, this gun is absolutely pants. And so you've really got to avoid trying to shoot people from range. You want to stay away from this part of the map where I am now. You want to get into the canals. I didn't even get a single kill there, purely because the UMP does not have good enough range, damage over range, sorry. So what you want to do is stick into the middle of Noshar canals. And I think the collection of clips here are actually me showing you how not to play with this gun. Well, that was quite good. No. I think, because the best place in this game, in this map, to be for this gun is in the middle, because almost every single person that you meet will be within 10 meters and therefore within 34 damage range, which means that you'll probably get the kill. So you don't want to try and shoot people at distance or a little bit further away than you might expect or usually shoot at them. So you definitely got to try and stay in the middle of the map. Now, for other maps like Carg Island TDM, there's definitely a close quarters aspect to that as well, because there's a kind of tight canal bit that kind of looks like and feels like Noshar, and so you always want to be in the middle, in the kind of height of combat. Another tip that I would definitely emphasize is do not go on a 64-man server with a UMP, because I don't know if you've been in a 64-man Noshar Canals TDM server, but you don't want to be in the middle of one of those, because people throw grenades, people C4 from the sky, people, they do, I mean, the middle is essentially a clusterfuck that you don't want to be involved in, because you will not be able to reload fast enough. Even with the UMP's very fast reload, you won't be able to kill people fast enough, because they'll have bigger, stronger guns that are designed to try and kill people kind of funneling down these little bits. So I would always say stick to a 32-man server max. If you feel like you're a bit of a boss, maybe 48. But I mean, 64-man is really a clusterfuck, and 64-man is only good when you can run around the edges with a medium to long range gun, which is essentially not the UMP-45. So there you go. That's pretty much it. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly of this amazing gun. So all that's really left for me to say is that you need to try it and see what works for you, because the flash suppressor may well work for you. It technically is better on paper. The only benefit that the suppressor adds is that you're kind of invisible on the map as you would. And Noshar Canal's TDM isn't something that you really pay attention to the map in. I mean, I don't, at least. That's more of a sort of rush thing to find out where people are camping from. But TDM is more, what's the word? It's more energetic. It's more kind of all over the place. And so I would definitely try and see what works for you with this gun. And always definitely try different scopes. I wouldn't recommend anything probably more than 1 times. I don't know, can you get the 1 time scope? I must have it. I've got quite a lot of kills with this thing, so... anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope this has helped you out, maybe informed you about a gun that you may not have known about. And as ever, stay classy. See you around.